In today's video we are reviewing and breaking down the second episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. Now this is one of those episodes where you might think nothing happened, but quite a lot happened, and it does tell us a lot of what's going to happen further down the road. And in this video I'm going to give you more information that confirms a connection to the main show. We have some quotes from Scott Gimple where he confirms there are plans for a crossover, and the information I found in this video does suggest that's more important than just one character going over. It's big. Of course, before we begin, make sure you subscribe so you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead and the first to see my videos. And make sure you join the official Discord for the channel. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you there. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, that's what you get.
You just threw up all over someone's grandma. So the big thing this episode was seeing the character's first ever confrontation with empties. And this is what I was waiting to see in World Beyond. I think that's what we've all been waiting to see. How these kids that have grown up in such a normal community with a pretty normal life react to a zombie close up. They've spoke about being able to take them out, but this is their first actual time being close to one. And actually, I couldn't be happier with how it's being dealt with. This doesn't mean The Walking Dead is really bad because we've got characters like Judith walking around with Rick's python. She was born in and raised in the apocalypse in communities that weren't protected, like the one in Nebraska was. These kids have lived their whole life pretty normally. So for them to go out into the world and see these dead people going after them, this is the perfect and really accurate reaction to what a kid would do. You cheat yourself. Silas completely froze when he went to go and kill it, and Iris, Hope and Elton, even when actually attacking it, couldn't kill it. They were completely unable. And it was clever because when these kids took on an empty, it would show lessons that Felix taught them in their class. He taught them you take it out through the brain, you can take it out with the legs to get away from it, or just avoid it altogether. And it shows how these kids just completely ignored every lesson that he taught them. Even Hope, who was trained by Huck how to take one out, couldn't do it. And because they didn't listen, it led to a really scary scene where they were getting outnumbered. And they could have died. It's only the second episode and they looked like they were about to get fucked. In this episode we got to spend more time with Felix and Huck, getting to know them more. And from the first episode it was really promising. I already really liked them both. Until I found out Huck is just someone doing an impression of Skinny Pete.
That and holy God. You're not even thinking right. You're worried for him. But if you don't clear your head, start thinking big picture, you'll end up one of these. Or worse.
Christ, she's like a schizophrenic Orange is the New Black character. In this episode it felt like Huck was doing an impression of someone that she wasn't. Whilst in the first episode she appeared as quite an eccentric character, here she was just quite useless. You could have these scenes with Felix and cut her out of it, and it wouldn't make that much of a difference at all. She's not actually that eccentric of a character. It's just someone doing an impression of Skinny Pete. I just hope we're yet to actually see who Huck is. This episode was definitely Felix's episode because we got to find out so much more about him and how he became the person that he is. We got to see Felix's backstory before the apocalypse started.
And on these emails. Are you a fan?
No, fuck, you can't say that anymore. We find out that Felix was kicked out of his house for being gay. He was disowned by his family. And when the outbreak happened at the very beginning of the apocalypse, he went back and he was still getting disowned. He returned 10 years later as a now much older Felix, and his family were dead. This has already given Felix so much depth as a character, and I think if Huck can have something even a bit like this, then her character would be so much better too. With Felix's dad being the one to kick him out, it gives us a lot more insight as to why he likes Iris' dad so much after his dad saved him. He's like the dad that Felix never had.
Wind always wins.
What?
Just something my mom said about nature deciding who lives and who dies.
He's just told his mum's killer a quote from his mum. All it's going to take is a picture of Elton's mum for Hope to realise who she killed all those years ago. And there's this scene with Elton and Hope where they talk about what they're going to call their group. And Elton suggests the Endlings. Now, the Endlings is what the show was originally going to be called. It's not clear if it was going to be The Walking Dead, the Endlings, or just the Endlings. But that's what the original name was, because that's what the group call themselves. But Elton says he misspoke. He didn't really mean to say the Endlings, because an Endling is the last in a species, and they can't be that because there's 4 of them. And it was fine, he corrected himself, and they moved on. Until it's revealed
The Endlings?
They got themselves a nickname.
they kept the name, and this just goes into my belief that every character will die apart from one, and I think we've already been shown what character that is. In The Walking Dead Season 10 Episode 13, What We Become, Michonne found Rick Grimes' boots and an old iPhone. On the phone was a sketch of Michonne with her hair before the Season 9 time jump, but a picture of Judith from after. She was a lot older in this picture, with some Japanese text that said "believe" a little bit longer, with the word Rick written above it. We had never seen anything like this in The Walking Dead before, and the message itself is so cryptic. But it's actually explained in the first episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. Here's what we see. It was Iris. In her dream, when she sees herself as an empty, we see the same white sketches, the white drawings, doodling and outlining everything she sees. And it looks really similar, if not the same, as what we see on the phone. And I do think with World Beyond being a 2-season limited event, the ending is in sight, and it's purely to show the power of the CRM. It's already done that with the first episode, but these kids have got the CRM after them, and it really could just end that badly. Are you really going to show that these kids escaped the CRM, that they were able to do that, yet Rick Grimes couldn't outrun them or couldn't escape them? Let me know what you think down below, and what did you think of episode 2? Did you want to see more of the CRM? Did you prefer episode 1, and what do you think of Huck? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you press the like button. You'll be helping me out and we'll get this video seen by more people. If you did enjoy it, then make sure you check out my other videos. Check out my most recent one for my full review on Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 1. I break it down and explain some things and talk about what's going to happen next. And check out this one for my full review on The Walking Dead Season 10 finale. I talk more about the 6 extra episodes we're going to see in Season 10 too, so make sure you go and check it out. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you're the first to hear about The Walking Dead and the first to see my videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
It is possible that I am simply referencing the fact that at the end of the last Walking Dead Telltale game, Clementine is technically alive at the end of that game. And by saying P.S. Clementine lives at the end of the Negan Lives book, I was not hinting at anything forthcoming with Clementine in any way whatsoever. I was just trying to mention that she's still alive. On the other hand, it is possible that I was hinting at something that possibly a little too early to talk about, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but that we may be able to talk about at some point soon in the future. So possibly there's something in the works with Clementine in some form. We'll just have to see.